down here, it's not going to keep the support. So we got to keep it pulled back. And if you decide to use the spray, you put that on just to keep the foot a little bit sticky. The cover roll stretch, I'll usually just kind of eyeball how big the foot is.
Yeah.
Cut it. And then what I'll do is I'll cut like an angle to go along with your angle of your toes. So it's kind of arced like that. And then on the back side, I'll cut a little rounded section for the heel so we don't have a whole bunch of excess. So it'll look something like that. So it's arced and then a little curve. And that way we just don't have a whole lot. This stuff will stick to itself like fly paper. So the first couple times you use it, it's gonna
be really messy.
So the best way that I found to, oh, and I guess this is also what width?
4 inch.
4 inch, so it's 4 inch width. They come in 2 inch and 4 inch.
Okay.
So just be careful if you're ordering it online that you get the
4 inch.
4 inch, or you have to put them two side by side. So what I'll do is I'll put this face down on my leg and kind of peel the first half of this back off of it. Put my hand here to keep it from sticking to everything else.
Right.
And then just kind of do it like that. And that way it doesn't stick to everything. It has a ability to stretch a little bit. That's the name. And so I'll put it down here and I'll sort of pull it out a little bit to keep it from wrinkling.
Yeah.
How do you exercise going at home?
Get it on there.
Put it on there like that. So you want to try to make sure we have the least amount of wrinkles as possible.
Okay.
That'll help prevent any sort of blistering.
Okay, have you been doing them every day?
Then we take the 1 inch, the skinny tape, and we're going to make an outline, kind of the out of bounds lines on where we're going to go on your foot. So we're going to put one right across the metatarsal heads here, which are the knuckles of your foot,
Right.
and then another one along the inside and outside border of your foot. So we're kind of going from that big knuckle right there. We're going to go around the back side of the heel to where the tape ended up over there. Smoothing it down as we go to make sure that it's not wrinkled. So you'll notice it goes around the back side of the heel to the knuckles of the big toe and the fifth toe. And that's your out of bounds lines. Everything else is going to be attaching to that.
Okay.
So then we're going to stick with the 1 inch tape. We're going to go from the knuckle of the big toe. We're going to come down and make a little, almost like a, kind of looks like one of those ribbons that you'll see on the back of cars, like a breast cancer awareness ribbon or something like that.
Exactly.
So we go from the big toe down around the back of the heel and come on out to the fourth or fifth metatarsal there. So kind of looks like a ribbon. We're going to do 3 strips like that. Sometimes the tape is hard to handle. It'll want to wrinkle. So if it's doing that, what you can do is you can end up going back to this toe and it's fine. So you just got to end up here. It's better to end up there and not wrinkle than to try to manipulate it over there and let it wrinkle. But if once you get a little practice with it, you can get a little bit of a pull on the tape as you come around. That'll help keep it from wrinkling. So a little bit of a stretch to it as you go. I'm going to make each of these 3 strips just slightly offset from the previous one. So they kind of almost look like maybe 1/8 of an inch off from the previous. Making sure that it's not wrinkled. So you can take a glance of it if you want there and see what it looks like.
Okay.
So 3 ribbons
Right.
around. Okay. The important thing there is that A, the foot's pulled straight back, and B, we're going from the big toe, ending at the little toe.
Okay.
Then we're going to go what I call the fan. We're going to make it go from the knuckle and the little toe back to your middle of your heel, keeping that foot pulled back the whole time. Then we're going to go from the middle part of the ball of your foot back to the heel, and then from the big toe to the heel, trying to keep the tape down and making sure that it doesn't wrinkle the whole time. Okay, so that's now going to replicate what the fascia looks like. It's just kind of fanning out from the heel out to the sides. The last one with the skinny tape that I do is I just make these little angles going from the middle part of your arch back to the inside of your heel. And I should do 3 of those, just kind of again overlapping one over the other. Just kind of a little strap that way. Okay, and that's probably the least important of the skinny ones. That's just a little added benefit. So now we bust out the 1.5" tape, the more common tape that you'll find, and this is going to just cover everything that we just did. So I call this the lawnmower as we go across, because it's just like mowing a lawn. You want to make sure you cover the previous strip as you go across. It does not matter whether you pull from outside to in or inside to out in my mind. Some people disagree, but for me it's not a big deal. You want to put a little bit of tension on it again, just to kind of keep it from wrinkling and give you some support. The tape, being a cloth tape, has some give to it, so it can stretch a little bit as you pull. You'll also notice I'm not going up any higher than that out of bounds line on the sides, and that'll help keep it from blistering on the foot a little bit. We get back to the bottom of the heel, we have to be a little bit creative because the heel's a little bit lumpy, so there's a little gap down there. So I'm going to try to cover that with as least amount of wrinkling as possible. And just making sure that it sits down so that, now as we look at the bottom of that foot, it's nice and smooth and covered pretty well. So now we're going to just cover the edges of the piece up here, and we take that same 1.5" and I go again from that first knuckle, covering all the edges down, going around to the outside. Right like that. So it's nice and pretty, and doesn't slap off. Right? The last piece is going to be a strip over the top to just kind of hold these edges down a little bit. And the way that I like to do that is I'll take maybe a 4 or 5 inch strip of tape like this, and then flip it upside down so that the sticky side is facing up. And I'm going to take maybe a 8-inch strip of tape or so, go with the double side like that, so that now the sticky side is exposed here and here, but not in the middle. And then that way, when we put it over top of your foot, it doesn't stick to the hair, but it'll stick to the tape.
And that one's kind of loose.
Right, it's nice and loose, and that one you can take off at any time.
Just
It's
keeps
not
the
going to affect
sides
the tape.
up.
Right. All
That's
right.
it.
Give her a try.